On this video we're going to be building spinning tops that are run by a string. So let's see what one looks like. They run for quite a while and they're fairly easy to build. I'll show you what parts we need to make and how it's built and what tools we use for them. Now I've made these out of old CDs, and I've found out that the small ones work fairly well, but the big ones are kind of dangerous. These tops go so fast that they blow up. So I wouldn't recommend using the big CDs. If we have time, I'll show you how to make one out of a little CD. Let's get started with seeing what components we need to turn to get this thing going. Okay, the parts we're going to need to make is the body of the top, which is this part right here. Then we're going to make this stem, which is right here. We'll call it the launcher. This is made out of 1¼ inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. And we'll make a handle for it. Then the pull string and a little handle for the pull string. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is drill a 7/16 hole straight through this piece of 1¼ inch PVC pipe. Of course, I got the camera sitting on the wrong side, so everything's wrong for me. So. Got that part done. Now we'll take about a 1/4 inch drill bit. Just putting a dowel in here so I can make sure that it's pretty even when I drill the 1/4 inch hole. This is to hold the handle on. This 1/4 inch hole is to hold the handle on where the screw goes through, so it's not that critical. Now we'll go over here in the bandsaw. Bet you that made you seasick, didn't it? And we'll cut this off. There's a piece we'll be using for the holder for the launcher. Get set up on the lathe now. We're going to take the piece of pipe now and put it on the pin jaws and get rid of the rough edges, smooth it up a little bit. I made this ring just to put on here to keep the tool away from the chuck. It just holds the pipe out a little bit. And what we want to do is just square this up or get rid of the rough edges on it. I'm just going to take a spindle gouge and just kind of scrape it a little bit and get rid of the sharp edges and put the hole towards the center. That's pretty good. Now I'll just take a piece of 220 and touch it up a little bit. Now we'll reverse it and do the other side. Now we want to take off just about that much to get it even. It's not critical, but just for aesthetics. And I'm using the gouge in the scraper mode because I found out this PVC pipe cuts a lot better by scraping than it does trying to turn it off. Looks pretty even, the hole's pretty centered. Now we'll just take the sandpaper and touch it up. Okay, we should be done with this piece. We'll move on to do the, let's do the handle for it next. Okay, we got a piece of maple in here. It's about 3/4 square and 5 inches long. We're going to turn it down to make a handle for that little holder. I'll use a roughing spindle gouge to start it out with. Spindle roughing gouge. Okay, that's now we'll turn it around so we can do the rest of it. Just put the tip in there. Skew. I like to run my tool rest a little high when I'm doing the skew, so I raised it up. fancy. We're just gonna make a little handle. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's do the back here. Okay, before we go any further, I want to drill a hole in it for the screw that's going to hold it on. Take a little starting bit, put a hole in here so that when I drill the 1/8 inch hole, it goes in centered. Okay, let's do this right. There we go. And I run it in 1 inch or so, just for the screw that holds the little piece of pipe on that we cut. Okay, let's sand this down and get it finished. Like I said, nothing fancy. We're just turning these to give them away at the fair, just like the other ones we did, so. Okay, somebody stole my skew. Oh, I found it, never mind. Take our little burning wire and get another one because we broke that one. There we go. Touch up with the sandpaper. Turn this down a little further. Far enough for now. Take our Ultra Shine. Part it off now. Using the skew with little bead cuts. There we go. That's done. And this is what it'll look like assembled. It'll take a minute to assemble it. I'll show you how that's done right now. You take a sheetrock screw and run it in there. I think it's a 6x1. I run it in with a drill because it makes it easier to put in when you do it this way. Run it through there, start it, take an offset screwdriver, put it in there, just turn it. There's the launcher ready to go. All right, let's turn the handle for the top bottom. Okay, we're going to turn the stem for the top now. Piece of cherry, same thing. 3/4 inch square by about 5 to 6 inches long. Make it round. Take it out, turn it around, finish it up. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is put a tenon on it that goes into the top body. And I'm going to drill a 1/2 inch hole in the top body. So I'm going to make a tenon a 1/2 inch. Now I have a combination wrench here that's got the top end of it sharpened. And I now have a 1/2 inch tenon there. So I'm basically done with that part. Now I'm going to make the stem about 2 3/4 inches long. So I have the dividers set to that. So we know we drilled a 7/16 hole through the pipe. So I'm going to take this down to about 3/8. It's a lot easier with a scraper. Take and finish it up with a steel. about done. Round this up a little more. This up. Get a quick polish on it. Well, we got it here. Let's just drill a hole in it for the string. Then I just take a little countersink and makes the string going easier. Okay, we part this off and we're done with this part. And I dropped it. I see it. And there we are. There's a stem. Wrap the string around it. Okay, well, we got this little piece left over from the stem. Let's go ahead and make our pull knob for the string. I'm going to take a starting bit, drill a little hole in there, kind of use it as a countersink. Take the same drill bit I've been using, drill through there. Actually, this is an old drill I had that broke, and I just took the chuck off of it and put on a handle on it. Works great for doing those type things. Okay, make a little knob. Kind of a semi-round one, I think. For string pull. still serve the purpose of what it was meant for. See if we can get it parted off now. There we go. Let me go get some string and put that together. Okay, I started using nylon string because I was having problems with cotton string breaking after half a dozen pulls or so. So what I've been doing is just taking nylon string and putting it in the hole. Sometimes a hole gets plugged up and you have to clean it out again. Put it in the hole, push it through. For some reason, there it goes. Now I take and tie let's see, where am I? Right here. I just take and wrap it 3 or 4 times around itself. Put the end through it. It just makes a big ugly knot. Then that pulls down inside the little handle there, and I cut it off. I take about foot and a half to 2 foot, cut it off. Then I have a little torch here. Wet my fingers so I don't burn them. Melt the end, and then it won't unravel on you. Now I always take the piece that I cut off and do the same thing with it. I'll have to. Okay, let's move on to make the top body. Alright, I found a piece of spalted maple. It's about 2 inches thick by 3.5 inches square. You don't need anything that big, but then again, this is just something I had laying around, so I'm going to use that.